More clubs are inquiring about Alejandro Garnacho from Man United, despite initial links deeply sending him to Napoli. Well, as it looks, Napoli don't seem to be willing to meet Man United's valuation of Alejandro Garnacho. Maybe that might be the stumbling block. Despite the player himself agreeing terms with the club, things are not moving right. Meanwhile, there is, of course, a new boy in town in Toby Collyer. Guys, this boy is quite something. Question is, what does he add to Manchester United? Why should Man United supporters be excited about Toby Collyer? I'm here to talk about that. Subscribe, like, and share to the United Hot Sport, and let's get proper into this Man United talk. Now, starting off clearly with what's happening, there are reports now suggesting that Napoli seem not to be willing to meet the 70 million euro valuation of Alejandro Garnacho by Manchester United, despite them going into talks with the player, and of course the player giving them the green light to proceed with the club because they would be interested to join them because his departure is clearly looking imminent. It seems now Napoli have pulled out, we say, you know what, we cannot pay all that money. Remember, they're going to get about 70 million euros from the sale of Varashkelia to Paris Saint-Germain. Man United was hoping to take nearly all of that for themselves. Now, Napoli are saying no, Garnacho is not worth it. And even if the last game is anything to go by, really, he was not really that blistering or exciting. So perhaps Garnacho, I think Man United's expectations might be forcefully lowered to perhaps give in if they're going to get a buyer, because I don't think, unless it's a club from Saudi, I don't think any club in Europe is going to give them more than what Napoli is offering for Alejandro Garnacho. So reports now are beginning to claim that Chelsea are also inquiring about him. Several clubs as well coming in to inquire about what's going on, what the situation is. So we are waiting to see how that story will unfold. But keep an eye on Alejandro Garnacho and what could happen. Of course, there is a possibility of him staying as well. If Man United feel no club is giving them the money they feel he's worth. So that's that. But let's talk proper about Toby Collyer and Kobbie Mainoo. Guys, Kobbie Mainoo is taking time to adapt to Ruben Amorim and his style and how he plays. And we clearly know that Kobbie's game is not a quick game. He's not a robust player. He's a calm, talented player, and who I still think the club are trying to figure out where exactly to fit him. They know he's a player who is supposed to be on the pitch, but he's learning on the job as a central midfielder. But perhaps it's not looking so easy on him lately. I think he struggled in the game yesterday because of, I think, tiredness. I think he's been tired really, but in the past few games have been interesting. But the advent of Toby Collyer, for me, I think is an advantage to Kobbie, because I think it sort of lowers the pressure on him, and not to him alone, by the way, Ugarte as well. I think Toby Collyer is a different central midfielder in the sense that he's a bit quick, he runs a lot, that's one. He works so hard, that's one. But he runs in sort of a structure. He's not your Ugarte who is everywhere, sweeping bodies and falling into people and getting cards and stuff. Toby Collyer is a regulated runner. I think whatever Kobbie lacks, I think Collyer has in a way, but of course he also needs time to develop. But there are signs that we see in Toby Collyer that I think, for me, there are games where you need Kobbie, there are games where you need Collyer, a Collyer profile of a midfielder to partner Ugarte because of his work rate and speed that he brings into the team. But there are also games where you need the calmness of Kobbie to partner the robust, aggressive Ugarte. So my view is that the advent of Toby Collyer as another option now for Ruben Amorim will ease the pressure on Kobbie and the expectation, and that will help him shine, and we will see the best of him just because of that, because the load will be less. We do forget that this boy just turned 19, but at some point under Erik ten Hag, he was, I think, the only exciting team about the team. He was the in guy. The way we see Ahmad now running, of course Ahmad has goals now to his game, but the way we're excited about Garnacho at some point, then Kobbie, now Ahmad, every player has a time. Perhaps Toby Collyer's time is also around the corner when Ahmad Diallo's time sort of shuts down, or his light dims. So you get a sense that the emergence of Toby Collyer is good. It's not a threat to Kobbie per se, but I think it's sort of it eases the pressure off him and creates another option who will come in certain games. There are games where I think a midfield of Ugarte and Collier will make sense. There are games where a midfield of Ugarte and Kobe will make sense. There could be games where the midfield of Kobe and Collier will make sense and Ugarte will need to be rested. So or a midfield of Toby and Bruno, the way we saw it, in that Southampton game, how it finished. So I think for me, Toby Collyer is another interesting option, but the person or the people to celebrate most with the advent of Collyer should be those two players. That's Kobe and Manuel Ugarte, because of his different. He's also a good pass of the ball. He doesn't fear to get onto the ball. He's always putting himself in positions to receive it. Good turns, good passes. He knows when to kick the ball away. Anywhere will do. He knows when to keep it short. I think there is something about his game that we would love, and when he matures, you now clearly understand why he's in the team. He has earned every right to be in there, competing with the very, very seniors in the team. So you look at United and you're thinking, even if we don't have a lot of money to make a lot of business in this transfer window, the youngsters, if trusted, can come in and give a good account for themselves. And I am thinking Amorim is beginning to realize it, and he's beginning to give them chances. He's beginning. You look at how he trusted Lenny Yoro for nearly, almost 90 minutes of the game. Yet he was actually exposed. They was telling him, learn the hard way. He was taking a risk, but a worthy risk, because it's a young player who needs minutes, who needs to be given a proper baptism. Because for me, that was his proper baptism into the Premier League and the intensity of the Premier League. So I feel for me, Amorim is probably low-key beginning to get into that place, get into that transiting place where he's going to trust the youngsters, and perhaps hoping that eventually it will pay off. So for me, Toby Collyer is a player to watch out for. Is a good option. He could be a good replacement for either Casemiro or Eriksen. He could be a good addition. Of course, Man United will still need to buy a midfielder, perhaps, again, to make it 4 probably. But I think the dimension Collyer adds to United is one that's unique, but comes in handy in terms of what we want to rebuild with the team. But also his profile properly suits Ruben Amorim, because he's a hard worker. And that's something that inevitably has to be important if you're going to perform in the middle of the pack in the English Premier League. So that's my honest take. So Collyer is another key to watch out for. My name is Webb. This is the United Road Sport. Like, share, and subscribe. People are asking me about Anthony. Guys, we can all see. We all watch the same game. We watch the same game. The way Ruben Amorim sees it, he's never shy to say what he's seen. Honestly, Anthony is on his way out. Where he goes, I'll tell you if you subscribe, like, and share. And let me catch you later. Peace, love, and harmony. Cheers.